Okay, I'm working on a 2006 Ford 6.0 liter, and I was putting in an engine, replacement engine that I got, and I'd had some issues where I had stripped valve cover. These are M6s, and I had to fix a lot of those, which was kind of time consuming. But then when I got ready to put the pump back in, I realized that these M6s back here were stripped as well, and those are like very important, very hard to get to. And I had to, like I said, I taped off both of these, and I had some clean paper towels, and I had all this kind of like almost like a surgical area here while I was doing this. So I just wanted to kind of do a video on how I fix this. But you want to get yourself a really good tap, a good M6 by 1 tap. Don't get yourself a cheap one from the store. You need to get a good quality tap if you have a tool place around where you live, or order one, because this is definitely not the place you want to use a cheap tap and run the risk of messing these up. So I had to go back through, and luckily they weren't just really bad. They were enough where I could go back through the threads and chase them and clean them up. But still, I had filing, so I'm using a vacuum, and I'm using a magnet, and then I've got all this area with clean paper towels and everything covered, and trying to clean this, keep the filings from getting in anywhere. So it makes it real difficult, because you're trying to run a tap through there, but you also absolutely cannot get metal and stuff in here. So anyways, said I don't know how hard that tube would be to replace, and I really didn't want to find out. But it happens a lot with these little M6, these small bolts. If they get over tightened, or if you get a bad bolt and people just run them down in there, and then you run into stuff like this, and it turns into a big problem. So it's definitely, it pays to take your time on stuff, and I'm just hoping that the threads are enough that I can torque. Like I said, these only get like 96 inch-pounds, so they don't have to have a whole lot of torque. So, but that's how I fix those. And these valve covers take an M6 as well, and I had to fix several of those. And let me see if I can show you. This is one of the bolts that was put in there, and you can see how, like I said, I don't know which came first. Either it had a bad bolt, were the threads down in there already bad? I don't know. But this is the bolt, and you can see it's just all messed up. So I took it out, and I guess I really didn't notice it taking it out, but when I put it back in, I just knew it wouldn't even start immediately. So if you need to, if you run into this problem, and you probably will at some time, like I said, get you a good tap and take your time. And you can't really get a tap handle back in there either. I've just got a little crescent wrench that I just work in there, and you have to, with these taps, you have to just go slow. And I put some grease on it instead of oil, because the grease would grab the shavings better and kind of hold on to them. So I don't know if anyone else will run into this problem, but if you do, before you give up on it, get yourself a really good tap. Take your time. Even if it takes you hours, it's a lot better than the alternative, because without replacing that whole thing there, I don't know what you would do. It could be really bad. So hopefully that's been helpful, and thank y'all for watching.